Hello, everyone. I welcome you to a new series that I have designed for you and have titled it as the Gratitude Series. Friends, this idea of creating this series came to me when I was working with a group of, actually, it was a group from an organization which included both men and women. And these were people who were highly stressed and we're looking to build resilience. We inherit a chaotic world, and every one of us want to be resilient. I also have a lot of questions coming my way. Um, some write directly, some asked via Quora, or even through the website. The underlying theme is everyone wants to be mentally tough, have the power so that we are equipped enough to deal with the hardships of life in a effective way, because life will continue to throw difficulties. And while I was coaching and answering and working towards my own resiliency, this thought of gratitude came to my mind because I am also someone who's uh, who's been through a lot of hardships, grief, personal loss, professional loss, career derailment, and whatnot. And this particular mindset had brought a tremendous change in my life. And I thought, why not design something on it so that it could benefit you as well? So there are three things here. First, let's understand a bit about what it is and how it helps and impacts our mind and build our resiliency. Then, in another one, I share with you my own story of frustration to inner calm, all through the practice of gratitude. And the third one is where I share with you some techniques that you can practically use in your everyday life and adapt this mindset. So let's begin and explore how gratitude isn't just a feel good word, but it's a tool that transforms our mental well being and builds a lasting resilience. We begin with understanding what is it and why it matters. As you can see on your screen here, gratitude is a conscious act of acknowledging the good in our lives, whether it's people, experiences, or even lessons from adversities, which is our tough times. So it's not just we are saying a thank you, or I'm thankful, or I'm grateful. It's basically a mindset, a perspective, a way of seeing life. And when we really practice gratitude, we shift from focusing on what's lacking or going wrong in our life to really appreciating what's present and good, even when life is hard. And friends, this is a mindset, and with a regular practice, this experience, this approach of gratitude uh, brings in greater happiness, strong relations, and better physical health. So let's see some of it, understand a little bit of how it impacts, and then we get on to practicing it. So let's first understand gratitude and stress. We all are stressful. There are various type of stress in our life, in our office space, in our personal space, relationship stress, worried about our children, our elderly parents, our spouse, our partners, our friends. A good amount of stress is what we deal with day in and day out. Let's see how gratitude and practice of it can help us lower our stress and make us feel calmer even in chaos. So, when we are stressed, the typical conditioning of our brain is we experience a threat from the external environment, and immediately our brain shifts into a fight or flight response. So you see the image here. This is of a woman. She's overwhelmed, perhaps, with a lot of things in her life. Let's assume both her personal and professional life. She is stressed, exhausted, and burnt out. So, stress, when it activates our fight or flight response, our thoughts get stuck on what's wrong, what might go wrong. When we practice gratitude, this mindset of gratitude interrupts that loop. So, when we are literally stuck in such negative spiral loop of thoughts, our gratitude practice come to our rescue. It gives us that required pause we need to reflect what's really working, what's beautiful, what we are thankful for. And the moment we choose to do that, because it's a mindset, our nervous system shifts. So the stress hormone cortisol decreases and we experience emotional safety. Gratitude also, if you have seen the grounding technique series that I've already published, it grounds us in the present moment. So it's also one of the best ways to ground ourselves in the present moment and be more peaceful. So next time you're overwhelmed, pause and ask yourself, even in your worst situations, what can I still be grateful for right now? You won't believe this tiny shift can change everything. Let's now look at the power this mindset, this approach in life brings when we develop or cultivate an attitude of gratitude. So if you really wonder and look at people who stay strong during tough times, you may just think, what really is that in them that they are so strong even during their tough times? Let's explore that. Tough time is our resiliency power. So when we are resilient, this is our inner strength. It is the ability to recover from setbacks quickly. And here, gratitude helps us reframe our painful situations in a way that fosters growth. So when you constantly practice gratitude in your life, and at the same time, you face hardships, challenges, and obstacles, you find that inside your brain, there is a major changes happening. You are approaching, your mindset has shifted, and with a new perspective where you approach things in a way where you're more reflective, where you respond rather than react. Every hardship, every challenge helps you create that meaning and builds your inner strength. So a simple way of doing that is, we just saw a question that we can ask ourselves, what is it that I can be grateful for in this moment? We can also write about what are the things we are grateful for. The more we do and practice this, the easier it will be for us to bounce back faster and have better emotional regulations. So think like gratitude as a muscle. So the more you work on it, the stronger you get. Now let's look at the power of it and what really happens in our brain when we practice this attitude of gratitude. When we develop this practice and start cultivating it, where we are looking at things from a perspective of being thankful to every little, big, or small thing in life, this activates the key brain areas. So this is not a very scientific diagram, but this is where our limbic system is deep inside, where our emotional brain centers are. And this practice of gratitude activate these key areas of our brain, especially the medial prefrontal cortex. So it comes from here, the front part, and then inside this, which is linked to our emotional processing, empathy, and reward. And when this area gets activated, it boosts dopamine, serotonin. These are feel good neurotransmitters. And these make us feel happier and more connected. So over a period of time, the more you practice gratitudes, it is not just activating this medial prefrontal cortex, it is rewiring your brain for positivity. If you remember our savoring technique and the concept on that, it's very, very similar to that. And it is called neuroplasticity. We were literally training our brain to focus on what's good rather than what's missing. So every time, when you say a thank you to yourself, to others, or you're grateful for in your prayer, whether you're writing it in your journal or a note, just literally mean every word of when you say that thank you. And the more intentionally with the meaning when you say that, you are strengthening your neural pathways for resilience and joy. With this, we now come to an end of this particular series. In our upcoming series, I shall share with you how you can practice gratitude. There are many ways of doing so. And let me share some of which are easy to apply into our daily life so that you make the most of it and rewire your brain and build your inner resilience. Let's get started there.